Welcome back to The Explainer. So have you ever witnessed a moment so incredibly powerful that it makes you realize language, culture, and geography are just, well, they're tiny, insignificant barriers compared to the massive ocean of love? Today, we're breaking down a viral, totally heart-melting interaction that perfectly captures this. I really want you to picture the scene here. You're standing in the vibrant, flower-adorned entrance of Sri Radha Kali Kunj. The room is absolutely packed, but suddenly, this profound silence falls over the entire crowd. A devotee from thousands of miles away in the West, someone who clearly didn't grow up with these ancient traditions, is standing directly in front of the highly revered Maharaj.
And this foreign seeker opens their mouth, and out comes this exact phrase, Shri Hit Harivansh. But they didn't just say it, they chanted this soul-shaking phrase with such perfect, raw emotion. Now, Maharaj Ji is known for being a strict teacher, right? He's someone who frequently delivers deep, uncompromising spiritual lessons. But hearing this, he simply stops. He doesn't just smile, and he doesn't just nod. He literally opens his arms wide and pulls this foreign seeker into a tight, warm embrace. I mean, it left the entire Kunj in absolute awe.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the unexpected devotee and the usual standard. Maharaj frequently reminds his followers that the divine absolutely does not care about your status or your acting. We saw this so clearly during his famous interaction with a guest named Jojo. Jojo essentially asked Maharaji if he was cute, and Maharaji, with his classic straightforwardness, just roasted him. He said, "No, you're not cute because you sleep until 10 a.m. Maharaji teaches that real beauty, real devotion, actually comes from waking up early in the Brahma Muhurta, those sacred hours right before dawn, and doing your spiritual practice. He values that grueling, authentic discipline over any kind of superficial display. So for him to break his normally strict demeanor for a visitor from the West, that means something truly extraordinary was happening. So here is the Radha Ras formula we'll be looking at today. Step 1, perfect bhav. Step 2, the hit tradition. And step 3, inner strength.
Moving right into step 1, bhav over grammar.
Now, what's really interesting here is the concept of bhav, which is defined as sincere emotion or feeling. Maharaj constantly teaches that nam jap, that unending chanting of the divine name, should be satet, meaning constant. When this Western devotee started singing a traditional bhajan, they definitely didn't have a perfect Braj accent. Their grammar might not have been flawless, but Maharaj corrected their pronunciation with immense love. Why? Because God isn't looking at your grammar, God is looking directly at your bhav, and the feeling in that moment was absolutely perfect.
True chanting brings this profound peace and bliss, known as anand, and it actually even rectifies your household. When this devotee sang, they were completely immersed in it. They were feeling what can really only be described as an unusual sense of belonging right at the feet of the divine. For Maharaj Ji, seeing a sincere heart from a completely different country, fully experiencing that bliss, is infinitely more endearing, and frankly, more cute than a local resident who just takes the whole tradition for granted and sleeps all day.
All right, step 2, the power of the hit tradition.
The specific chant they chose, Shri Hit Harivansh, is no ordinary phrase. It is literally the very soul of the Kali Kunj. Maharaji explains that singing these names and the verses of the Shri Hit Chaturasi Ji is the direct fruit of all spiritual wisdom. You don't just say these words out loud. They are specifically meant to make you directly experience the amazing pure love of Shama Sham. So the devotee wasn't just throwing out a nice greeting. They were unlocking the absolute highest spiritual nectar of the entire tradition.
And that leads us directly to Nitya Vihar, the eternal, unending play of Radha and Krishna. When that foreign devotee sang those names, they were tapping straight into this Nitya Vihar. Just imagine dedicating your entire life to teaching this deep spiritual nectar, and then suddenly someone from a completely different culture from across the ocean stands right in front of you and perfectly recognizes and taps into that very same nectar. That is exactly what made Maharaj Ji become bhavuk, or deeply emotional. It's just this profound meeting of souls across all cultural divides.
Which brings us to our final step. Step 3, strength beyond physical pain.
In the physical realm, we have to remember that Maharaji is enduring severe suffering. His kidneys have failed, he undergoes this grueling dialysis every single day, which leaves him with extreme physical exhaustion. He normally needs to go and rest immediately after these sessions. But spiritually, when he heard that raw, sincere devotion from the seeker, he entirely forgot his physical pain. He literally leaped beyond his exhaustion to embrace this devotee. That embrace wasn't just a polite hello. It was a saint recognizing a true lover of the divine. demonstrating this immense spiritual strength that completely overpowered his bodily suffering.
So, the crucial point here is this. The name is your real strength, no matter how weak the body feels. This entire interaction proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that sincere devotion completely erases physical borders. It shatters language barriers, and it even overrides severe bodily suffering. The power of the name is absolute.
So, what is the ultimate takeaway for us as focused learners? It's that devotion is truly for everyone. If a person can travel across oceans, step into a totally foreign culture, and find their absolute home in the name, what's stopping any of us? You don't need to be a religious scholar. You don't need to have the vocal chops of professional singers like B. Proc or Sawai Bot to impress the divine. You just need to start. Exactly as Maharaj Ji advised his guests, you just need to keep saying Radhe Radhe all day with a sincere heart, and you will begin to find that exact peace you've been searching for.
I want to leave you with this thought to reflect on today. Have you ever felt that unusual belonging? Have you ever experienced a moment of deep connection or peace while exploring a new spiritual idea, maybe chanting, or simply being still, even if you didn't fully understand the language or the tradition? Because that feeling is the exact same bhav that moved Maharaj Ji. Keep exploring that feeling, keep learning, and keep the name on your lips. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep seeking, and I'll see you next time.